Tonight, hundreds of people are under evacuation orders in southwestern Colorado, all because of what's shaping up to be a historic flood event. Remnants of Hurricane Priscilla dumped inches of rain on the region, causing creeks to rage above their banks. Democratic Governor Polis declared a disaster today to help free up resources to respond to the flooding.
Plata County is one of the hardest hit areas. Nearly 400 homes are under evacuation orders. 90 of them were damaged and 2 may actually be a total loss. The county says nearly a dozen people have been rescued from floodwaters. In Pagosa Springs, mandatory evacuations were lifted this morning. They were put in place last night after the San Juan River surged beyond its banks and flooded areas of downtown. We're glad you're with us tonight, everyone. I'm Phil Lipoff.
I'm Kim Christensen. There was a lull today, but the historic flood event is far from over. With more rain in the forecast this week, we want to get right to 9 News meteorologist Chris Bianchi. Chris?
Yes, thanks so much, Kim and Phil. Exactly right. Unfortunately, what we've been talking about here, in some cases, the most rain, the worst flooding that we've seen in decades, going back in some cases 80 years for us. Some of these rainfall totals pretty astronomical for us here in the San Juans. This going back to last Thursday night through Saturday. We've unfortunately got more rain to go. The good news is we're generally calm for us right now. A few showers south and west of Denver, but we're mostly in the upper 40s and low 50s. I mentioned some of those rain snow showers. Take a look at some of those. This is mostly in the South Park area as well as north through Grinnell Pass. And even a few flakes flying on I-70. Little or no accumulation from this, and just got a report of a few grapple pellets out there by Castle Rock as well as west towards Sedalia as well. But for the most part, things are on the quiet side statewide. But you look off to our south and west, this is what's concerning me, what's concerning us here at the 90s Weather Impact Team. Some of those showers will lift north into Colorado tomorrow, meaning that those areas that saw a lot of that rain just a few days ago, and more rain on the way for us as we head over the next 24 to 36 hours. The San Juans, unfortunately, going to get the worst of it. That may mean more flood issues. We'll get into details and time it out for you in the next few minutes.
All right, Chris, thank you. It has been 3 days now since that devastating fire destroyed or damaged more than a dozen businesses in Netherland. Tonight, there is some welcome news.
The town's grocery store is back open again. 9 News reporter Rachel Krause has the latest from Netherland.
The doors are open again at BNF Mountain Market. Welcome news for many here in Netherland and in the surrounding mountain towns who rely on this store. BNF closed for the weekend after a massive fire broke out early Thursday morning at the Caribou Village shopping center next door. While no one was hurt, all 20 businesses are now gone. Vinny Montez with the Boulder County Sheriff's Office says investigators had blocked off much of BNF's parking lot while they were closed. With the market now open, so is part of that lot.
We're warning a little bit, hey, the spacing in front of the building there is very small and condensed as a result of the investigation still going on. So people just need to be cognizant about that, be patient. But we're really happy that's back open because that is really a hub for people getting food and stuff right there in Netherland.
With the fire now out, the focus turns to what caused the fire. Montez says it's unclear if investigators have been able to go inside the burned building just yet.
They're canvassing, they're doing interviews, they're doing follow-ups, reviewing video. So there's a lot to do, and they got plenty of people on it right now.
Even as questions remain, Netherland is coming together, organizing fundraisers and helping neighbors out where they can.
I really feel proud about our community here in Boulder County. When we're able to rally together like that, it's just a sense of community. It's something that is meaningful to people, and people need to hear it because when you're dealing with that struggle and you feel like you're all alone, it's harder to deal with it than when you feel like you got people rallying behind you.
Over the past few days, the community has been pulling together to help out their own, making sure those impacted by the fire have what they need. The grocery store reopening for this town is a big step forward and what'll be a long path toward normalcy. In Netherland, Rachel Krause, 9 News.
A 9-year-old girl is among 3 people killed in a crash on I-70 in Summit County. That wreck happened just before 6 this morning between Silverthorne and the Eisenhower Tunnel. CSP says a semi with a trailer went off the side of the road, then got back on and hit the center concrete barrier. All 3 people inside that semi died. The driver was a 37-year-old woman from New Mexico. A 39-year-old man from the same state was also killed. The 9-year-old girl was from Jacksonville, Florida. The coroner will release their names once families have been notified.
A 4-year search for a man accused of raping a young girl in southern Colorado is finally over. Today, U.S. Marshals arrested 62-year-old Paul Sandoval. He's accused of tying up an 8-year-old girl in a shed on his property in Alamosa County and assaulting her. The U.S. Marshals Service said he'd been on the run since March of 2021, when he learned there was a warrant out for his arrest. They recently learned he'd been hiding in a remote area of the mountains near Blanca Peak, the fourth tallest in Colorado. Officers took him into custody in that area today. He now faces several charges, including felony sexual assault of a child. As the Supreme Court decides the fate of the conversion therapy law here in Colorado, a former state lawmaker is reflecting on why he crossed party lines to vote yes on that bill.
9 News reporter Angeline McCall joins us now. And Angeline, he says he felt like it was the right thing to do.
Right. In fact, he didn't just say he thought it was the right thing. He said that this doesn't have to be a political issue after a therapist argues that she should be able to carry out conversion therapy despite this law that bans any licensed professional from doing so. In 2019, Colorado lawmakers passed a state law banning conversion therapy, mostly with Democratic support, apart from 5 Republican lawmakers. You were only a handful of Republicans who actually voted in favor of this bill. You know, why stand out?
Well, I'm going to start out by saying the right thing is not always easy, but it's always right.
Former Republican State Senator Don Quorum was one of the 5 who voted yes back then. Now he's watching as the Supreme Court decides on the case of a therapist from Colorado Springs who claims the 2019 ban on conversion therapy violates her right to free speech.
Why? That's it. Why? Have you really thought about what you're asking for? Is this worth the life of one child? Teen suicide is something that, we always thought we think about because, it's a permanent solution to a temporary problem. And unfortunately, we as the adults sometimes put roadblocks in the way of recovery. So I thought that this bill would be actually remove some of the roadblocks to saving lives.
What's your message to people who sort of want to make this topic of conversion therapy a political one?
Live and let live. Why is it political? Why do you have to take a stance against one group or one person in search of votes? Doesn't make any sense. I don't think there's any way of judging, but I'm positive that it has saved lives. And if it's only one life, that's enough for me.
Quorum says he would be surprised if the justices side with the therapist on this one. We should find out sometime before summer what their decision is. In the studio, Angela McCall, 9 News.